I'm going to show you our power drive, power lift drum rotator. We're going to be picking up this drum here, this 200 litre steel. We're going to be placing it into this cradle. So I'm going to show you the procedure for lifting, rotating and placing in the cradle. First thing we need to do, let's pick up the 200 litre drum first. So our band section here is open. The clamping strap is on this pin at the side. I'm going to drive this forward so the band is around the middle part of the drum. This power drive unit, pull down the tiller, drive forward. You can see now the band assembly is round the outside of the drum. So what we do next, move this cradle out of the way. We take off the strap from the hook, move it round and connect it to the pin on the other side of the arm. We then grab hold of the ratchet strap in your right hand and pull the slack out. Make sure that the D-ring is still connected to the pin on the other side. We then use the ratchet to tension the band around the drum. That only needs to be nice and comfortable, it doesn't need to be over tight. The next thing we have is the rim clamp here. This goes underneath the lip of the drum and then we bring this one over the top and then we hold this up underneath the rim and tighten down the clamp. So that's it, we're nice and secure. You can see there's no daylight around the back of the band. The clamping strap's done up nice and tight. The rim clamp is connected. We're now ready to lift the drum. We can lift from pressing a button on the back of the tiller here. So we press lift. Next thing we're going to do is going to rotate the drum into the horizontal position, and we do that by winding a gearbox handle on the left hand side of the unit. Next thing we'll do is we'll just move the cradle in front of the unit and we'll be lowering the drum in. Right, we've repositioned the unit. We now have our dispensing cradle and we've matched the angle of the drum to suit the angle of the cradle, and we're going to wheel this in now. So we wheel this into the drum. Positioned, but we're actually putting the position so these two tabs at the front are going to be just past the lip of the drum. What we'll do now is we'll lower the drum into the cradle. Right, next thing we need to do is need to disconnect it. So the drum is sitting in the back of the cradle there, sitting in the front, so we can disconnect the rim clamp. That's clear. We can then undo the ratchet. What we need to do now is undo the D-ring from the belly strap. That's done from this side. So that's it clear. So all we need to do now is lift the rotator head off the drum. We do that from the tiller position. And we can wheel the cradle away. We're now looking at the clamping system. So we've connected the stainless steel D-ring onto the front of the band, and now we want to tension up the blue strap. So the first thing to do is grab hold of the blue strap and hold it in your right hand and pull the slack out. So you must keep the strap in your right hand, and then we get the ratchet, we can release it there. Then we can actually ratchet the band closed. Now we need to ratchet this to tension the blue strap until we start to see a slight deflection in the drum. That's it. That's as tight as we need to be. Then we can pull this release, go round to the park position. You'll find now the ratchet strap is tight. The next thing we're going to connect to the drum is the rim clamp. This is the rim clamp here. We can adjust the height of the rim clamp by taking out this R pin out to the side, and we can remove the pin, and then we can change the height for tall drums or lower it right down for short drums. So set it just below the height of the drum, put the pin in, and then lock it by putting the R pin through. Now, to connect to the top of the drum, we hold it up under the rim. So you can see there that this is right underneath the rim of the drum, and you can keep this pulled up with your hand. You move this over the top, hold them together, and then wind down the butterfly nut. You tension this just nice and comfortably tight there, and this will support the drum in the vertical. Now when we want to disconnect, so we've lifted the drum and tipped it, we come down again, we pick up the blue strap which we hold in our right hand, we release the lever and bring it out and then let go of the middle, then take another bite and pull it all the way over so the ratchet is straight. This has released the strap now, and then if we push that away, that gives us the slack we need to disconnect at the front of the drum. Then we can put the pin on the front ring. We then come to the rim clamp, hold it up again, undo the nut and disconnect. We're now ready to move the drum away. I'm now going to show you how to change the configuration of the band to pick up this 50 litre drum. So currently it's set for the 200 litre drum that we've just picked up, the green one, and now we're going to change it. So the first thing to do is we can move these arms in. So both arms slide along this back rail, so we can move them in to create some space. If we move in here, there's two R pins in the back of the band. So we can remove these pins, so they're just joined together there on a chain. Then we can move this arm in as well. And at the back of the band here, there's a series of holes. And this allows us to disconnect the back of the band that was locked in by the R pins and move them closer together to reduce the circumference of the band. So this is a 50 litre drum. So if we remove the band, hold it in this hand and move it right the way across. And then, if we want more space, we can actually bring this arm in and we can connect it into the holes in this position. We can now refit the R pins. So the band is now reconnected on this back position. We can move the arm a bit back out there, and then we can move it into this 50 litre drum. So I'll do that now. I'm going to drive the unit forward. Very nice accurate control on this unit. We can go very slowly. As soon as we touch the drum, we can push in a bit further just to reduce the circumference. Then we take off the strap, put it round the front and connect it to the D-ring. We then pull the strap tight, keeping it in your hand. We can then lower the rim clamp. So we take out the pin, we lower it down so it goes underneath the drum. Reinsert the R pin. Again, hold up the rim clamp and spin down the nut. That's it, we're ready to lift. Once we've lifted the drum, we can then tip into the vessel. We're now looking at the controls of the unit from the back, and we have the tiller assembly. And the first thing we have is we have the key. We switch the key on, the key's in the on position. Then I have our emergency stop. Now, if you wanted to stop all function of the unit in an emergency, we press the emergency stop. To reset, we simply lift. And with the tiller, if we let go of the tiller, the gas ram puts the tiller in the vertical by itself. And this will close off the power to the drive and apply the brake. So the unit will not work and drive in this configuration when the tiller's in the vertical, and the same full horizontal. If we pull it back and go full horizontal, it won't drive neither. There is a switch on the front and the back of the tiller. So the tiller has an operational range. Okay, so we're switched on, the emergency stop is set, and we check the battery condition on the meter here to make sure we have enough battery in the unit, enough charge. If we don't have enough charge, we put the unit on charge. There's a charging light here which indicates when the unit is being charged. When the unit is being charged and is plugged into a main supply, the unit is not able to drive, and this is a safety function. Now focusing on the controls on the tiller here, the first button here is the horn. The second one is lowering down of the drum at the front. We press this, it goes down. This is the lift one, the arrow there showing lift. If we let go, it stops. And then we have the two butterfly throttles. So we have the left and the right. These are joined together through the tiller. If we rotate them forwards, the unit goes forwards. We rotate back, the unit comes back. The brake is automatically applied. The next one is the auto reversing button. That's this big red button at the back of the unit. If you reverse and this touches your body, it changes the drive automatically into forwards. So if I go forward, then back, and I'll touch the button, it'll let it touch my hand, you'll see the drive will change into forward. You can go very slow with the unit, so if you just roll the throttles nice and gently, you can creep nice and gently forward, the same nice and gently backwards. It's very important to have this nice, precise drive when you're handling drums. I'll now show you how the mains power lead connects to the unit. So we take the mains power lead here, we open up the end cap, place it onto the socket, and push it tight. When the unit's on charge, the charging light will be indicated, and you're not able to drive it while it's connected to the mains power supply, providing the power is switched on. If we're going to leave the unit on charge, we switch off the unit and remove the key to prevent anyone using the unit. And the most important thing to remember, it's a single operator unit, and no one should be standing in front of the unit when the unit is being operated.